How does multiracial identity impact demographic trends? Imagine a country where more and more people see themselves as belonging to more than one race. That is exactly what is happening in the United States today. The number of multiracial Americans has grown quickly, especially since the 2010 census. In fact, the multiracial population increased by about 276% from 2010 to 2020. By 2020, over 10% of the population identified as multiracial. This jump is partly because the Census Bureau improved how it asks about race and ethnicity, making it easier for people to share their true identities. The growth of multiracial Americans is changing the makeup of the country in many ways. For children, the share who identify as multiracial went from around 5.6% in 2010 to more than 15% in 2020. This means that many young people are growing up in families with different racial backgrounds. As a result, the overall diversity of the population is increasing fast. Along with multiracial people, the country is also seeing more Hispanic, Asian American, and immigrant populations. These shifts show how America is becoming a more mixed and varied place to live. One big reason for these changes is the rise in interracial marriages and births. More couples from different racial backgrounds are choosing to marry and have children. This naturally leads to more multiracial children and adults. At the same time, the way race is measured has improved. Before the year 2000, people could only pick one race on the census. Now, they can choose more than one, which better reflects how people see themselves. The Census Bureau plans to keep changing how it asks about race, including combining race and ethnicity questions in the 2030 census. These updates will help gather even clearer data on multiracial identities. The increase in multiracial populations also impacts politics and society. It challenges old ideas about race and pushes for more inclusive policies. Multiracial Americans do not all share the same experiences or opinions, so their growing numbers add new voices to the national conversation. Their presence influences how politicians think about race issues and how communities plan for the future. Getting accurate data on multiracial people is important for many reasons. It helps with redistricting, making sure voting districts representing everyone fairly. It also guides civil rights efforts, health programs, and how federal funds are distributed. Understanding these trends helps leaders plan for a future where diversity is the norm. In short, multiracial identity is reshaping the demographic picture of the United States. It speeds up the growth of a more diverse population, changes how we see racial groups, and encourages better ways to measure and understand race. These shifts are shaping the social, political, and economic future of the country in many meaningful ways.